everyone, it is Susie and I hope everybody's doing well. I have some really fun little fairy journals. I've got one more to make that will be a 2 signature, but it will be the grungier type journal. So anyway, I wanted to go ahead and get these 3 out that I have. I made a couple of TNs and then just one really 2 signature kind of chunky fairy journal. So I'm going to start with the 2 little ones first and save. This is absolutely probably one of my favorites that I've done. I didn't think it would be when I first started it, but I ended up just really liking the way it came out. So this one here, on these 2, I did do my ties on the outside and just left the little vintage buttons to the outside instead of doing it on the inside this time. So I just tied it with a little bit of trim. This here I did make using Graphic 45's, oh gosh, I don't know the name of the paper and I've already thrown the front away. But I'll put it in the description box because I'll look it up. But this was using their little fairy paper that they had, and I think it was a recent release. I don't think it's over a year old, so and it may be. I could be wrong, but this will go in the Etsy shop just as EL 5-240. I'll just have it Fairy TN Traveler's Notebook and with this number, and the same way with this one. It will just be listed as Fairy TN 9311. So that was just the easiest way to get those listed. So anyway, let's get in. Now what I've done is, these are just pretty basic, your little traveler's notebooks. I've got, this is one of the little fairy stamps there from the Your Creative Studio box. I knew that I was going to make that fairy journal when I got that box. And so I kind of knew that those would be going in with my little Graphic 45 paper when I got ready to make these fairy journals. So this is just a little, I got these in some stamps, and so I just used those. I took out the stamps and used the glassine. It was a stamp collector. I had bought some stamps not too long ago at the antique shop. So here is just one of the little, and all these pictures are just from Pinterest. That's what they're from. So of course I've mixed my tea dyed and plain papers together. Here is just a little stamped tag, and then here is a little glassine bag. And I've just made it a little pocket here. Now when I bought the Graphic 45 paper, I also bought the packet, the little ephemera packet of die cuts. Here is just a die cut. I actually purchased the Tim Holtz or Sizzix Big Shot switch, and I love it. I absolutely love it. So I've been cutting, I've been die cutting some things just lately. I don't think I've ever had one that I've just absolutely loved, but I do really like this one. I've had several die cut machines, but this is probably my favorite. Here is another little die cut, just using the Tim Holtz die cuts, the thinlits. And then here is Hello Spring with this cute little girl here. And there is this, and I've just used some of those. And I did this in white stitching, so the stitching is kind of hard to see on camera. Now these here do measure about 4, they're 4 by 8. Is what they are, because I had just bought the 4 by 8 pad, so that is the size that I've gotten from the paper pad on these. Here is just a little tag stitched around some of it there. And then this is the same way. I've got, this is the Your Creative Studio stamp. And then here is just another little booklet here. And I've done some stitching on the inside of that. Just a little place to journal there. So there is the first little fairy journal. Okay. And then here is the second. And I love this little paper here with the bubbles. I thought this was so cute with the little fairies and the bubble. So here is my cover. Oh, and on the back, I don't know if I showed the back of that one, but I did stamp the little journal. The little journal stamp that I have. And then this one opens up the same way. I actually did some stamping on this one. And you know, I may go in and stamp these as well, put a little stamp on there if I don't forget. But that one I just stamped on the fabric. And then same way, use the little fairy journal there. This will be the same kind of little book. Oh, this one I didn't do up and down. This one I actually did side to side. So there is that. Just your little journaling spot there. Your little tag. And I love this image here. She is one of my favorites. And same way here, just did the, this is of course is the die cut. That's just out of the ephemera pack. Use some washi tape. A little stamped tag there. Here is, I just framed this little girl out. Now the words are from Mrs. Coggs, and there's just a little piece of fabric. It's from Mrs. Coggs. Those are her spring, her little spring words is what it is. And then there is the little stamp tag. Here I made just a little just a little tag with some fabric behind it. And then this is off a piece of vintage lace. There's this little girl here, the center of the signature. Here I've just done some collaging with the washi tape and added a little, and I know I don't know if you can see it, but I did sew. I love to sew the little, like little antennas when I do the butterflies. And I've just got some fancy stitching there. There's another little booklet. This was a cute image as well. There's that booklet. And there's the die cut. This just folds out, and I did put washi tape because sometimes that's a little frail there. And there is the back, same way. It'll have the stamp tag, and all these little stamps here. This, the butterflies and that, and the fairies is out of that Your Creative Studio. And then there's another little booklet. So there is that. All right, and that will be those two little journals there. All right. And so now for, like I said, this one I just absolutely love. Now this ended up being pretty big, and the cover is bigger than the pages on the inside. So if you wanted to add your tabs and things or be longer, you can, and it won't be compromised. Sticking out, you won't have to worry about it getting bent or anything. It is kind of puffy, so I do have some batting in between that layers of cover. Now this is 2 signatures. This is, I've got 10 folded pages or papers in each signature, which gives you that 20 pages, 40 sides. And the same way in the traveler's notebooks, they are also 10 folded papers, so that gives you the 20 pages and 40 sides. So that is what's in those as well. Now this here is a really easy open. It's just wrapped around that button. I did stitch this one in blue thread, just a light blue thread, but this just goes around the button and you undo it. I've got it wrapped around a couple of times, and it's the same way here. It's just wrapped around that button. So I just left the leave it on the back side done up. This has a piece of vintage lace here for the spine. And then the back, I have put this on fabric, just a little journal stamp there. Did my little die cut flower here. And this is well, it's not Mod Podge, but it's, I can't even think of what it is. It's the other one I like so well. A Collage Podge. This I did in the Collage Podge. So you're good on your cover here. I even did it on the piece of ephemera there on the back. So, and then you open it up, and this one is kind of chunky. It does have a little dark spot here, but that is from the coffee dye. It just looks like a spot, but it is actually from the coffee dye. Here is just a little your little booklet. Now, I believe I did this one in white and blue stitching on the inside. So, you're going to see white stitching and blue stitching. Here's a couple of little time cards that I've just stitched on and did a little stamp on. And they just slide in the pocket. Little doily, piece of music sheet. Here is our glassine bag. This one, I love that purple. And this one, just booklet will fall up. Now this is some of that computer paper that I have in the shop now. I have so loved that computer paper in the blue. So I had only seen it in green, and the blue is just perfect for this. And then here I actually tried something and I ended up cutting it down, but this has like a little, it's not laminate, but it's a little, I can't think of what it is, but I just made this butterfly sturdy with it. I can't think of what that's called. It's not a laminate, but here is, it's like a projector sheet where they used to do the overhead projectors. There's just some trim I put on there. Here's another cute little page. Did the layaway. Another die cut there. And then here is the center of the signature. Here I kind of wanted to create that layered look, so got your little die cut there. Here, this will fold out with a little collage. This is off a vintage piece there. This I just added a tag and just made a little lace kind of, just a little fun tag there. And then here is another booklet. Well, I hope it's not stuck. No, okay. Sometimes that glue, you think it's dried and it's just not. And it kind of sticks to stuff. But here is the little booklet. I love this little girl and her wings as well. Music sheet. There's another little die cut out of the paper. And then in the center, I have another little, this is one of those vintage glassine bags that I have that open on the end. And I've just did a little collaging there. It's got stitching on it in white. And then I had to print out, I did a sheet of 4 of this though, where I printed this on the fabric. So I wanted to go ahead and use those up. So you got one on the cover, and then you have one in this little booklet. And then on my grungy, I will be using that as well on the cover. So there is my little booklet. And it just sits in the top here. And I've just got it in the center of the signature. There's always that little gap, you know, where you have to put your signatures in. So I like to put something there. A lot of times that's why I do that. And then here we have another little time card that just sits in the pocket there. And then here is another little booklet. And there's your little stitching in the blue. And there's that. And then I've got a little die cut rose from that ephemera pack from Graphic 45. And then this here was kind of a fun little tag. I just made the same thing here with a little lace and a bulb pin. But these will pull out. And there is your tags. I just thought that was kind of cute to, oops, get my button down there. This here has a little button with it as well. I've got on there. And it just sits in that pocket. And there's Beauty, and just did a little collaging center of the signature. This here is just, I just put that there for decorative purposes to kind of journal on the side of it. Another die cut, floral die cut. This folds out. There's your fancy stitching. This piece of plain paper. Here is your other, this here, I just put 2 pieces of journaling paper. This is some vintage paper. I've had it for a long time. When I did my thorough clean out here just not too long ago, I ran across a band of this, and I had bought some time ago. I guess I better get hers right way. So just a couple of pieces of journaling paper there is what that is. And it just sits in the bag. Sometimes I like to do just something different than the booklets that I always put in there. Your doily. Oh, and I will include that in the traveler's notebook as well. This is that little journal. This is from Judith. Let's see. Sanderson. And I had bought that digital. It's the letter from the journal maker. This is really a really cute letter, and so I wanted to include that in this book. There's a die cut. And then this here is a fun, and I'm going to push this up a little. This is just a fun little pocket kind of piece. One of the ladies on Sophie's Notes had this tutorial that she had posted a couple of weeks ago. It's Lisa Roberts at Tulip Cottage Designs, and she has a tutorial for this, and I will link that tutorial in the description box if anybody wants to do it. Now, she also had it where she could hinge it. I did not put the hinge on this one, but it's just made out of one piece of paper, just a 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. So I've just made a little booklet here. Did a little bit of stitching, not much in there, but it's a little booklet, and it sits in the pocket here. Oops. And then the back pulls out, and this is just a tag. I put a little tag in it. So it's a nice little fun pocket. Was not hard to make at all. And I just thought I'd include that in the pocket in the back. So here is this little journal here. Well, she's not little. She's kind of chunky. And I will have this in the Etsy shop. I will just have this one listed as Fairies in Bloom. So that is what this is going to be called when it goes in the Etsy. So anyway, I hope that everybody is having a wonderful, I believe it's spring now. I love it. I love spring. I love to see the trees and everything come to life, all the buds that come out. So anyway, guys, I hope that you have a fantastic day. And I want to invite you all over to Sophie's Notes. I have a lot of ladies that list things, or not list things. We don't do any buying or selling there. But they post some of the really cute tutorials and journals, and I invite you all to go over and be a part of that. Also, I have Marketplace 360 for selling your journals, or if you want to give something away, or if you're buying. A lot of cute listings over there. So a Marketplace 360 is just for selling, you know, or giving away there. And Sophie's Notes is no sale of any kind, just posting your makes. So anyway, guys, I invite you there. Come on over and join us there. With that said, have a great day, everybody, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.